WNBA Power Rankings Lynx on the hunt, fever on the rise. As we emerge from the All-Star break and head into the stretch run of the season, the landscape of the WNBA is pretty uneven. Some teams are trying to shake off rough starts, some teams are trying to stay afloat, while others are putting their foot on the gas. Napheesa Collier and the Minnesota Lynx, for example, look ready to take their revenge for last year's controversial finals, while the New York Liberty are without one of their stars in Breanna Stewart. Elsewhere around the league, Aya Wilson and the Aces' hands are looking brighter than ever, and the Indiana Fever are putting on a show with Caitlin Clark injured. Things are looking gray in Skytown. The team is dealing with a handful of injuries, including to the team's second leading scorer, Ariel Atkins. The loss of Atkins hurts a team that was already starving for offensive production. Chicago did get Angel Reese back in the lineup against the Mystics, and she put up a 20-point double-double in the loss. Connecticut showed everything they could be in a dominant victory over the Golden State Valkyries. The legendary Tina Charles has been the steadying force during this rocky season, and her 24-point eruption led the way during that huge win. Though the team may still be rounding into form, Buchers is having a historic rookie season. She racked up 400 points and 100 assists in just 22 games, tying the icon Cynthia Cooper for the fewest games needed to achieve the milestone. She also became the first player in WNBA history to score 350 points and dish 100 assists in her first 20 games. The Mystics are making magic. Though they've had an up-and-down week, the young Washington squad is a tough group that has found themselves in the thick of the playoff race. The all-star trio of Brittany Sykes, Sonia Citron, and Kiki Iriefin helped the Mystics fight back from a 16-point deficit against the Valkyries, though they would ultimately fall short at the end. Iriefin and Citron also became the first pair of DC rookies to score 20 points in the same game. Things have cooled down for one of the hottest teams in the league. Since All-Star Weekend, the Merc are 1-3 despite having Alyssa Thomas, Kalia Copper, Sata Sabali, and the newly added Dewana Bonner available. The Storm may be one of the most well-rounded teams in the W, but balance isn't everything. Seattle plays great defense and can score in a variety of ways, but they've gone 2-2 since All-Star Weekend. The Storm did rain out the Connecticut Sun, though, with a 101-85 victory that saw 4 of the 5 starters hit double figures. Rookie and number 2 overall draft pick Dominique Molina has also had time to shine, becoming the youngest player to record a double-double. The Valkyries are one of the most resilient teams in the W. They have a tough, defensive-minded group, even without their first All-Star, Kayla Thornton, who is out for the season after suffering a knee injury. They survived a furious comeback from the Washington Mystics thanks to their defensive connectivity. Golden State secured the win despite scoring only 6 points in the fourth quarter. Don't look now, but the Los Angeles Sparks are making their mark. Rickea Jackson has been stellar since her return from injury, even knocking down a circus game winner against the New York Liberty. Jackson's fellow sophomore, Cameron Brink, finally made her return to the court after over a year after tearing her left ACL. In limited minutes, she showed off her versatility, knocking down a 3 and swatting a shot. Though they may have dropped a couple of games lately, the Dream still secured a couple of statement wins after the All-Star break, including handing the fearsome Minnesota Lynx their first loss at home. Atlanta has also been without Ryan Howard, whose two-way prowess and long-distance shooting are among the top in the league. Naz Hillman has stepped up admirably, though, scoring her career high and game winner against the Wings. The Aces have been locked in since they've returned to the court. Aya Wilson is doing superstar things as usual. Her 34-point outing against the Sparks was one of the driving forces in the win. Another driving force was the all-around play of Jackie Young, who earned her first-ever triple-double against LA. Indiana's pieces have started to gel. Though they hovered below .500 for a while, the Fever have had a fiery run, winning 3 in a row without star Caitlin Clark. Arizona legend Ari McDonald has stepped up lately with a career night to knock off the Phoenix Mercury. The Champs are having a rough patch. After getting Jonquil Jones back into the lineup, the Liberty lost Breanna Stewart to a bruised knee. New York lost 3 in a row for the first time all season, with 2 of them coming to teams under .500. Which is never a good look. Minnesota crossed paths with the reigning champion Liberty for the first time this season and finally exacted revenge for last year's finals matchup. Top MVP candidate and All-Star MVP Napheesa Collier is on a tear, notching back-to-back 30-point games against the Dream and the Liberty. MVP candidate and All-Star MVP Napheesa Collier is on a tear, notching back-to-back 30-point games against the Dream and the Liberty.